The shortage in silver appears to be very real. And you may be wondering, what does that mean as we head into the coming months, quarters, and years? We are in a new paradigm, a new world for the price of silver and gold and the precious metal mining stocks. But right now, we are in this same world together. I wanted to say thank you for joining me down here in the basement. You matter. You're important. Look, if I just came down here by myself every day, it would be a cold, dark, dank place. So thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. We don't do memberships. We don't do any pay a fee to get the video. Everything's free. So I will ask you to subscribe, press the subscribe, and press the bell button so you get notified every time that we go live. Hold on here 1 second, having a little tech issue. There we go, guys. So things are happening. We're going to look at all the reasons, all the examples why we could very well be into what is going to be an epic silver shortage, what I believe could turn into an epic silver squeeze for us together. Let's start by talking about central banks and buying silver. Can you believe it? This is getting big, major attention, and I want to show you a couple great examples that we're getting right now. This first one comes from Eric Yong, King Kong 9888, super respected person within the silver and gold sector. He's very well connected throughout Asia. And listen to what he says. My source says, I'm hearing the central bank of XXX, they didn't want him to say who, bought XXX billion of physical silver yesterday. If you report this, and again, this was the message from a friend of his to him, please just say that you're hearing central banks are buying silver and don't mention the specific country. Apparently, the decision of India to collateralize, to monetize silver is pushing all these central banks into buying silver. Who said silver isn't money anymore? Okay, then we got more evidence of central banks. We're going to get to that next. But guys, think about this. The reason why this is so important, we know central banks are buying massive amounts of gold, but when the gold runs out, right, what's right there? Silver was money before gold was. Okay, let's move on. This next one, when it comes to central banks, comes from Gold Silver, Mike Maloney, right? Another massive name, another person who's been in the gold and silver sector for a long time, super respected. Silver's big comeback. 3 central banks are already in. What's next? And there was a short video here at the New Orleans Investment Conference, but essentially when a gold silver viewer from Poland approached Mike Maloney at the New Orleans Investments Conference, he was asking a question that stopped the room. Central banks are buying gold like crazy, but why not silver? And the answer was basically this. We know that the central bank of Saudi Arabia or the Sovereign Wealth Fund bought the SLV ETF. We know that Russia also has been buying silver. And we also know now that India apparently, according to this, is also buying silver. And we also know that India is monetizing silver, allowing people to use silver as collateral for loans, right? Apparently in 2026 in India, 1.4 billion people. Okay, massive. India, a country that has long loved precious metals like nowhere else. It's different in India, guys. I know a lot of Indian people, have Indian neighbors, friends, whatever. They have a completely different mindset overall than we do in the West when it comes to gold and silver. And apparently in 2026, right, the big banks in India will be able to take silver. You could take this stuff. Here's a beautiful 5-ounce bar from channel sponsor First Mint. You can take that to the bank in India and get cash for it. Use it as collateral. That's monetization of silver. That's like silver-backed money, like these. Well, we got all the props today. Remember this? Look at that. That's not a US dollar. Look at the very top. It's a silver certificate. And on the very bottom here, I'll read it to you if I can. It says $1 in silver, payable to the bearer on demand. It says that right on the bottom. I don't know if it's going to focus for you. Okay. So look, central banks are buying silver. Is it just starting? Absolutely. Will it continue? Yes. Right? Because the gold, they're like us. Gold gets too expensive. Gold's probably going to be gone at some point, the way things are going. Okay. Oh, and by the way, thank you for being here. Okay, basement dwellers. I know we're having some volatility in the silver market today. That's okay. What's the price of silver? Let's go look. And I'm going to tell you why not to worry. And then we're going to talk about China and silver and gold. It's absolutely incredible. Oh boy, silver's down. Oh my gosh. I know it was up big, way big this morning. Let's see if we can get silver to be back in the green by the end of this live stream. But right now, market, it's down 20 cents. It was up like what, almost $2 this morning? It's okay, guys. Okay. Whenever big moves in any asset happens, volatility is the norm. So don't get freaked out. I know it's a bummer. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you on that. But that's 1 year. I still say, if you look over here, I'm going to show you this real quickly, and then we're going to get to China. We've got a little cup and handle formation forming here since when? About October, but that's not what we want to look at. We want to look at the 1-day chart and cry, boo-hoo, right? No, okay. Yeah, silver had gotten as high as what? 52 in the futures market. So down what? $1.70. It's normal. Look, let me look at let's pull that 1-year chart up again. Okay. Look at all that. That is not a perfectly straight line over the last year. Don't get too freaked out. Don't worry. Okay. Everything's going to be okay. China is a massive force when it comes to the precious metals. Massive. Okay. India also, but we already talked about them. So let's move on to China, the other country with 1.4 billion people that love precious metals. In China, signs of a shortage. Let's go. Let's look at this breaking news that we have. Let's go over to. We're going to start here with Hansa Cerne, one of the sharpest emerging silver and gold contributors. He says right here, China's silver shortage is getting worse, and the data just confirmed it. Guys, every day we're getting this news. The Shanghai Gold Exchange, the Shanghai Futures Exchange, where silver is traded in China, right? Mostly all physical, just hit their vaults, hit another new low. Not yesterday, not last week, but today again. This was yesterday. This is no longer a trend. This is a structural shortage unfolding in real time. And then down here, he shows the previous 2 days. I think I've got even more recent data for you. But basically, the silver is being moved out of the Shanghai Gold Exchange. People are taking delivery. And then we get this. Okay. Latest update from Swiss expert Jay Steiger on the precious metals market in yellow. Okay. China has just pulled the trigger on silver. In China, you can only trade gold or silver futures if the metal is physically deposited. This past Friday, the Chinese said no more deliveries. We are keeping our metal, right? These export controls. Shipping metal from China to London might delay a default by 3 to 6 months, but the stop is now. And then apparently Mr. Steiger quoted this email. He said, I received an email from a London Bullion Market Association, LBMA broker this morning. He writes that the gold price is being driven by China and other BRICS central banks due to de-dollarization and a move into hard assets. We expect this de-dollarization to spill over to other hard assets, including silver. Wow, guys, it just gets more and more interesting. And let's go look at this. One more example from China. This comes from the Oriental Ghost just a few hours ago. Western agencies are facing a serious situation when they use financial methods, paper, Fantasy Island, right? Silver to control the cost of buying silver. they face huge losses in holding a large number of short positions. If the delivery cannot be made on time, default, the supply chain will be interrupted. And then he says here, this is now the latest data, another new low in the silver vaults of the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange. The market data is below. We love to look at this. Let me get out the markers for those of you who are new. This is the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Futures Exchange. This is today's report. Okay. Where did silver close? $53 per ounce. There it says right there, AG, that's the periodic element symbol for silver on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, which is their pure physical exchange. $53 per ounce. And as you can see, the Shanghai Futures Exchange, that's the change in vaults and vault inventory. And then this is the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Again, both of those are reaching new lows. Let's go look at this data from China. Okay. Wow. There it is right there. $53.22 per ounce closing cost. Hey, if you want to get your hands on some silver before the Chinese take it all over, I already showed you here, let's do show and tell. There's a 5-ounce silver bar from First Mint. But channel sponsor, First Mint, there's our logo right there. Here's another cool product they have available. This is a 10-ounce folded American flag. Isn't that awesome? Okay. And what's really cool about this is it benefits the Folds of Honor Foundation. That's a foundation that provides educational scholarships to children and spouses of fallen and deceased members of the military and first responders community. Let me show you, okay? And First Mint is just an awesome company. You guys, they make the live streams possible, but you guys have just given me unbelievable positive feedback from your experience. I got a box from them the other day. I'm telling you, their packages it's like you're getting an iPhone or something. It's like their packaging is second to none, but the silver inside is even better. Here's their website, firstmint.com. Let me show you where you can find the Folds of Honor. Go to store, go down to the 4th selection, Folds of Honor, and they have all kinds of information about the program. And they have 3 products available. There's a moving video. There's the 3 different things. They've got a 1-ounce round, the 10-ounce Folds of Honor American flag, and a 10-ounce bar. And then you can see down here, part of the proceeds get donated to, oh my gosh, life-changing impact, $750,000 in donations that they've made. That is incredible. Okay. But what's really cool about First Mint is the silver you get, it's the freshest silver in town. You might be asking, how, Ron? What do you mean freshest silver? First Mint is owned by First Majestic Silver, whose CEO, Keith Neumeyer, has been one of the biggest proponents for silver over the last decade plus. He coined the phrase triple-digit silver. First Majestic Silver mines the silver in Mexico. It goes to First Mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, here in the United States, where they transform it into these world-class silver products, and then it goes straight to you. From the mine to the mint to you, the freshest silver in town. And as an extra added bonus, it's never touched by those people at the COMEX or the LBMA or the Shanghai Gold Exchange, for that matter. It is putting metal into people's hands directly out of the ground. They got free shipping on orders over $299, and there's a discount code because you're watching. You're part of the Basement Dweller community. If you put in the discount code VIP, like very important person, RB, like Ron's Basement, you'll get a discount. Thank you, First Mint, for sponsoring the basement. What do we go to now? Whoa. What if even the Silver Institute is talking to us about a silver shortage? A silver deficit? Doesn't silver deficit also mean silver shortage? This one comes from our good friend, although I've never met him. I just love this guy, Niels Christensen. Very nice person. He used to make videos, and I think he's one of the best silver and gold riders out there. It says silver faces its fifth annual supply deficit as industrial demand slumps, but investment surges. That is according to our friends at the Silver Institute. We just have we got a lot of colorful things to read together. In yellow, a slowing economy is taking its toll on silver's industrial consumption, with demand expected to fall by 4%. However, demand won't fall enough to reset the current imbalance in the marketplace. We've had a deficit, guys, right? You know it. I know it for 5 years. Last week, the Silver Institute reiterated its outlook that silver will see its fifth annual supply deficit of almost 100 million ounces. Fifth year in a row. Now, what's important to remember here, don't worry, we'll get back to the red thing next, guys. This is 5 years in a row that the world has been consuming more silver than the world can supply. Guess what? There's only so much silver in the world. That's what makes it's finite. There's only so much silver. There's only so much silver that's been mined and above ground that the world can borrow against, right? There's a limited amount of silver that can satisfy these deficits, period. And I don't care what the Silver Institute says, right? We got a deficit this year, but the demand for silver, with everything going on, solid state batteries, solar panels, I mean, all the data just points towards AI, artificial intelligence. And by the way, all right, to dispel any rumors, I'm not artificial intelligence. I'm a real person. This is not a green screen. This is my real basement. Here, this is really upstairs Susie, my wife, okay? The demand for silver is not going anywhere. Back to the article. Let's go to the red part. And the red part says this. Philip Newman. Oh, Newman, managing director at Metals Focus, the British research firm behind the annual silver survey. We know we can trust everything coming out of England, said that inflows will, this is interesting, inflows into exchange traded funds, ETFs, have increased by 187 million ounces so far this year. So the investors coming back. This reflects investor concerns over stagflation. Oh my God. We got to talk about that too, guys. The Federal Reserve's independence, government debt sustainability, the U.S. dollar's role as a safe haven, and geopolitical risk. Basically, the world's going to crap in a handbasket, and silver is your lifeboat. Let's talk about stagflation really quickly, because we aren't going to toot our own horns or anything, but where'd it go? Here it is, right? Remember this box? Do not open? With Jerome Powell on the inside, all they can do is print money at this point to save things, period. But stagflation is a situation where you have a recession, which, do we have a slowing economy, right? But we also have inflation at the same time. So the economy's slowing, but prices are going up because the U.S. dollar's real value is going in the toilet. That creates a situation like we had in the 1970s where he's in a box. That's why he's in a box, right? He hates this. All they can do is print money, okay? But think about it. To fight the recession, they got to lower interest rates. When they lower interest rates, like they're kind of doing right now, what that creates is more inflationary pressure. So that makes the already high inflation go higher, and inflation is nothing more than the real value of the dollar going down. But then they run over there and they're like, we got runaway inflation. We need to raise interest rates. They do that. That makes the recession worse. He's in a box, okay? So despite all the BS, don't listen to what the central bankers say. Look at what they do. They're buying precious metals. We know they've been buying gold. We know they're starting, and there's speculation that it may continue to buy more and more silver as well. We're in for a wild ride. We got a lot more to talk about, man. Okay. On top of that, I gotta say it, because guys, this is one of the biggest reasons. On top of everything we just talked about, central banks buying silver, the Chinese hoarding silver, all these, the deficit, okay? The most exciting thing of all is that basically there's no new big supply of silver that's going to come. Remember, they're borrowing from the future every year because we have this deficit. But guess what? The amount of silver coming out of the ground by the mining sector has been going down since 2016. Oh, and as an extra added bonus, Nobody's been exploring or developing new silver mines. I mean, ghost town, right? Very few companies. Dolly Varden, Silver 47, Silver Mountain Resources, Capitan Silver. But I mean, these are it's like a handful, just a tiny handful. The size of the silver mining. Oh shoot, I wish I had it, but you'll just have to believe me. There's a chart going around that shows the total size of like the silver mining industry compared to gold mining, even, which is also very small, but just compared to all mining and other, I mean, it's minuscule. So what's going to happen is when this price corrects and these crazy movements like we're having today, it's okay. When the price goes to 70, 80, $90 per ounce, nobody's going to be able to still provide a significant amount more silver. It's just the reality of the situation. It's very encouraging. I do want to say thank you to my other channel sponsor, Left Hand, First Mining Gold. We are going to talk about gold a little bit more here, but First Mining Gold just put out a big announcement yesterday. They redid their preliminary economic assessment on their Spring Pole project. Go check it out. Spring Pole is a huge multi-million ounce development stage project in Canada, in Ontario. And guys, things are looking very, very good there. It will knock your socks off when you look at these numbers with $4,000 gold, $3,600 gold, $4,200 gold. It's very, very exciting what they are up to. But they also have the Duparquet project in Quebec. It's another multi-million ounce development stage project. And they've got another project, Cameron in Ontario. I think it's about 1 million ounce. This company has massive amounts of gold in the ground in Canada. And I'm telling you, the big miners are going to get real interested in that as they try to replenish their pipelines and now grow as well. You can learn more about the company at firstmininggold.com. Okay. Oh, speaking of massive gold deposits, though, did you see this? This is very interesting. Do you think China cares about gold? Here we go. I'm going to show you. Here's the First Mining Gold press release from yesterday with their pre-feasibility study at the Spring Pole project. I'd recommend you read that, but let's go see what China did. China reports, okay, and then we got some news out of Thailand about gold in China that's unbelievable. But this first, China reports largest gold discovery in more than 7 decades. What? Are you kidding me? China, oh, they don't care about gold, do they? They just announced the discovery of the largest gold deposit found in the country since 1949 with an estimated, 1,444 tons of reserves in Liaoning province. The find, completed in just 15 months, comes as gold prices hit record highs. This was from Euro News, and then it goes on to say how important gold is to China. Gold, guys, realize this. Think about it. Here's another reason why we know that things are going in the direction of precious metals. Central banks around the world now hold more gold than they do U.S. treasuries. Things are developing closely. But, you know, I mean, look, China found this giant gold deposit. What I'm saying and what we're saying is they're going to need to find a silver deposit as well, because this Fantasy Island paper silver situation, look at this. Stunning. This is data from Friday. But on Friday, we had a big down day in the market. And the dude said this. The silver market traded again, basically as much silver, paper silver, as the entire mining industry creates in 1 year. 779 million paper ounces to rig the price down yesterday. Okay. What will next week bring? Crypto crash? I don't know about that. Get your popcorn ready. It's unbelievable that in 1 day, I want you to look at me and think about this. This is paper silver. Okay. Paper. Fantasy Island. Remember Fantasy Island? De plane, right? It was on during the 70s. Everything was fantasy. That's what the COMEX and the LBMA, that's what they trade in 1 day. Paper fantasy silver in 1 day, the equivalent of what the entire mining sector produces in 1 year. And you're going to tell us they're trying to fool us and tell us that's the real price of silver? No, here, To me, it's nothing more than a Ponzi. I mean, I was thinking about that. Do you agree with this? Right? That like when you think about the silver market, the paper silver market, don't you think that it's almost more like a Ponzi scheme at this point? Right? I mean, and Ponzi schemes can go on. Watch the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix. It's actually kind of fascinating. They can go on for long periods of time. And to me, what they're doing at the Comex with these, it's like a Ponzi scheme. And eventually, the world now is calling the bluff. We covered this already. Okay, it's crazy to think about what we can see. And then on top, and here's proof. One more example. We know it because there was a WikiLeaks document. Remember WikiLeaks, right? That got released where there was like a government communications when they were setting up the futures markets in the mid 1970s. And it explicitly said that we're going to build these future markets so that we can induce volatility into the precious metals markets. And I'm doing this from memory, but I'm sure I got it right. We can discourage Western people from investing in precious metals. Well, guess what? Some of us, and that includes you, and by the way, if you're here, thank you. Right, we got like 900 people live right now. Thanks for being down here. Don't forget, please subscribe and turn the bell on. Press the bell so you get notified. You figured it out. I figured it out. The world, China and India, they've already, but what about your neighbors? What do you think? Are you ready? It's almost time. It's almost that time. What do you think your neighbors, when they find out, right? Because guys, here in the United States, I'm telling you, like maybe 2 out of 100 people get it, understand what money really is. The rest of the people, the 98% of the people, right, they're asleep. But when they go to the grocery store and a loaf of bread costs $12 for a cheap loaf of bread, right, a processed loaf of bread, whatever, they're going to wake up, right? And you know what those people are? They're the sheeple. Wait a minute. And look, I'm not giving financial advice, but when those sheeple wake up, right, remember, there's not a huge amount of elasticity when it comes to the supply of physical silver. The coin shops will be wiped out. The online dealers will be wiped out. It can happen. Look, I don't have a crystal ball. Don't make any financial decisions based on what I say. I'm not a financial advisor. But think about this. This is crazy. Think about what happened in the 1970s when silver went from $1.50 to 50. Think about what happened from 2001 to 2011. I want you to think about that. Silver went from under $5 to $50. Now, think about how much things are different. Yeah, sure, geopolitically, silver being used in industry, all that great stuff. But think about technology. Back in the 70s, people read newspapers, right? People had to go wait in lines at coin shops. Today, information is spread infinitely quicker. And people are I don't want to create panic, but a potential speculative panic could ensue like really quickly, right, with the internet. And then think about this. People don't have to go wait in line at coin shops, but they can wipe out the online retailers. And we've seen this already happen. We've had a taste of this super quickly. Remember during C19, I got lucky and bought some silver. The best purchase I ever made, I think when it was like 12 or 13 bucks an ounce on a Saturday during the C19 breakout thing, right? But then silver was gone. Even the online dealers were like, you got to have a minimum $500 order. It's going to take 8 weeks for it to get to you. So be prepared, okay? It could get super, super interesting. Thank you for being here. Everywhere we look, right? What I see, and you need to listen to me and to other people, but wherever we look, we see big evidence that we could be in for a silver shortage, which could lead to what could be a very fruitful time for those of us who own physical gold and silver, own the precious metals mining stocks. Before I forget, guys, check this out. If you haven't already, hold on, I got something to show you, show or tell. Actually, I've got one hanging right here. Hold on, I want to show you this. I'm going to put you to sleep. I'm going to hypnotize you. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That's the swinging Dirty Man safe. And that's actually the Dirty Man safe swinging in the background. This one here is called the Dirty Girl, or their smaller size. These are safes that you can buy and save and store and protect valuable items, precious metals, whatever you want to save. These get buried in the ground. You get to think about this. What did the pirates do? Right? When they wanted to safeguard their treasure, they buried it in the ground. You can check out Dirty Man. You can go to dirtymansafe.com. That's the discount code RON10. I got all kinds of discount codes for you today, but these things are cool. They open up. When they sent me this, I was like super impressed. I'm like, these are cool. These are robust. This is not just a piece of plastic pipe, okay? And you store what you want on the inside. I've got a unicorn inside this one. It comes with a sleeve. You bury it in the ground. Everything about this is top-notch, first class. Check them out. Again, it's dirtymansafe.com. The discount code, RON10. That'll get you a 10% discount. But most importantly, my fellow basement dwellers, right? Take care of yourselves today. I know we got volatility. Don't worry about it. Think about this. One closing thought. Oh, look at that. It's still swinging. Well, you can wake up from your being hypnotized by Dirty Man Safe. Think about this. I don't know. It was like a week and a half ago. I was thinking, man, if we can consolidate with the silver price around $45, we'll be okay. Now we're looking at even consolidating, building a new base around $50. Even if we do go back to 45, trust me, I believe we're going to be okay. Most importantly, okay, I appreciate you coming down here in the basement. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, be good to yourself. You deserve it. And I'll look forward to seeing you, yes, you, next time. Have a great day. Thank you.